Hello everyone, give me 5 for a better future, and welcome to the regional online event organized by Green Civil Organizational Unit of Civil. This event is dedicated to raising public awareness and promoting dialogue on sustainability and circular economy practices. A warm welcome to everyone joining us live on Civil's Facebook and YouTube channels. Warm welcome to our friends and guests from partner organizations across the region, part of the LOGEX initiative, who will share inspiring presentation of good practices and innovative ideas in the field of circular economy. The regional initiative of LOGEX community, formed by the Balkan Forum from Kosovo, aims to revolutionize the Western Balkans approach to sustainable development by promoting circular economy practices. This year we are jointly marking Circular Economy Week under the motto "From Local Fixes to Regional Impact." The event will be hosted by me, Biljana Jordanovska, and my colleague Xhabir Deralla. To begin, I welcome to Gazmend Berlajolli, Executive Director of the Balkan Forum. Gazmend, please.
Thank you, Bibe. What I said, I am used to people not pronouncing my name. It's a very complicated name, even for Albanians. Okay, thank you. Good to be here. Welcome to the 4th annual Circular Economy Week and this event. Honored to be here. Yeah, 4 years or less than 4 years ago when we started, so we started with a very simple idea, but I think it was a powerful idea because what we aimed at that time back in 2021 was to bring, like-minded people, like-minded organizations from CSOs, academia, business, world, diaspora, to bring together and see how we can bring, value to communities, to our communities, to the places where we live. And this was basically the idea when we started. Here we are today, marking the 4th annual year of we as a group, as a small group that established in 2021 in December in Budva, Montenegro. Here we are today, joining. During these years, there were challenges. Some people left, some organizations left, but new organizations joined. What is most important is that the LOGEX stood together, and that is basically thanks to you, to all of you, from your good work, willingness, desires, and inspirations to put good activities together, manifesting this modest campaign with activities that we do every year. So I just want to extend gratitude and thank you all for all your work during this 3-4 previous campaigns. Dear friends, circular economy, you know better than us. We don't pretend to become experts on this topic, but I think it's an urgency for the region, for the world, to discuss these topics. So, and some organizations have, far more extensive experience and background for talking about these topics, but I think we can agree that circular economy is not just a concept. It's a movement. I think it's a mindset that we're trying to, contribute to change, to affect people how they think, because change is needed. And this shift, I think, slowly is picking ground. I can speak for Kosovo, but maybe, some countries in the region, Western Balkan region, may differ here, but I think the pace is slow when it comes to how we treat waste, how we produce, how we consume things, what is our style, etc. So I think every product, every action that we take, every product redesigned, every material reused, every person we engage is a step forward to a more sustainable and more resilient region. I think that's what we're aiming here. Allow me to briefly just, because some people are new here, just to back up this argument by sharing a few details of what we achieved so far as LOGEX. So just briefly, I want to touch base, when we started in 2022 with a campaign slogan for sustainable development, we did 15 activities, which, where we included conferences, roundtables, publications, articles, podcasts, research papers, bringing 500 people engaging directly in across all Western Balkan 6 countries, and then reaching like 500 people in this first year. In 2023, in a campaign partnership for circularity, we did less activities, like 12 activities, but we were innovative with our solutions, because every time we organized something, there were some new ideas brought together, like is the case of this repository platform that was designed by our partner BGG, which is basically a digital map which asks partners to locate green businesses in that map. So that was also one thing that was brought in this campaign in 2023. Had a very good reach. We engaged 700 people, and some 500,000 people were reached, and picked up a lot of media focus. So that was in 2023. Last year, our slogan was Unite, Uplift, and Upcycle, and this was also another element that was added, apart from the conferences and roundtables and the podcasts and then articles that were published. We had a very good reach in terms of media perspective. We had a lot of interviews in local medias, and we extended 700 people were reached directly in the activities. So to summarize, I just want to say that we did, I think it's important in 2024 to mention the guidelines that were produced by CENER, our partner, CENER 21 from Bosnia and Herzegovina, which produced a very good workshop for journalists, how to report for green issues, and also another guideline that was designed on their behalf as part of this campaign. So during these 4 years, we did good work, good activities, but also some very good products were designed as part of this initiative. So just wanted to mention this because we find it very important. It shows. So to summarize, I think we as LOGEX, as a small community, as a very, with a very modest budget that we operate, I think we have organized up to date 38 activities, 2,000 people involved, and up to 1.8 million people were reached. So if I was in a room with audience, I would ask for applause for this. But here, this is a virtual event, but I think it deserves an applause for these achievements. So just this goes a big thank you to all partners and organizations who committed all these years to do good work and and being with us all these years. The highlight of the 2025 is that we have a new partner on board, which is Zero Waste Montenegro, who joined the LOGEX community. Of course, they have a very extensive experience in topics of green topics, and in particular waste management. So that it goes without saying that they bring value being in this community, and there's a lot for us as organizations to learn from them, because they do a great work. And the other thing that I'd like to say is that it's not just circular economy that brings us together. One element that is positive is also due to this network that has been created 4 years ago. A lot of small initiatives and cooperations have emerged between partners in different projects. But this is something that just shows how you start something in a very small scale, small idea, and then new opportunities come, and yeah, today we basically are happy to say that we have, you know, different cooperations with different partners within LOGEX community due to that healthy partnership that was established 4 years ago, so to say. Not to take a lot of your time, I just want to conclude and say that today is the 4th day of the campaign, and tomorrow we conclude. The campaign, as Biba said, is from local fixes to regional impact. Let's use this space to challenge, but also to inspire and support, you know, each other, because I think the transformation, you know, any transformation is hard, but in particular, this kind of transformation cannot be done alone. So together, I think it's proving that we are stronger. It's a slow pace, but I think the course has been set in the right direction, and the shift is happening in a way in our lenses. So sorry, I maybe took a bit more time, but I thought it's important to just provide a brief history of what we have achieved so far as a group, and to emphasize, it's a small group, small organizations with aim that we hope that we fundraise and then we can become bigger in years to come. But that's all from my side.
Thank you, Gazmend. Thank you very much for sharing with us who we are as a LOGEX community and what the LOGEX community stands for. I will ask now my colleague Arjan to present a video that will serve, I believe, as the introduction to Xhabir. Arjan, please.
Welcome to my office. It was an exquisite presentation indeed from our colleague and friend Gazmend, who reminded us of what we've done, and it's not really a little. And it is my real great pleasure to be here today. And I'd like to share with you an article that will, in its full format, will be published on Green Civil right after this conference. And I'd like to remind Diana to take care of that. Well, and the full format is there, and I'll try to cut down. And also, I will submit to all partners and participants to this event the set of 6 recommendations that we worked on or 6 groups of recommendations that we worked on, hopefully to be adopted by our friends and colleagues in this great community. So my presentation today is titled From Rhetoric to Regeneration and Back. And I'm going to speak about politicians mainly. Being a journalist for more than 3.5 decades, I believe that you will understand the sharpness of my wording, and of course it's all with intentions to contribute to changes, to positive changes. So politicization, corruption, and mismanagement, contradictions and inconsistencies, a low level of public awareness, real deep dependence of Western donors. These are not just background issues. They are some of the most visible obstacles to circular economy initiatives and green policies in the Western Balkans. And they reflect even deeper, more dangerous structural problems of our societies. What we are seeing is not new. It's the continuation of alarming patterns passed from one generation to the next, embedded in the political and institutional culture of our region. Circular economy has become a buzzword recently, a trendy term, especially when politicians want to appeal to the Western donors or younger voters. Suddenly, everyone is fluent in sustainability, recycling, composting, green innovation, and then they move on. I mean, politicians. In 2023, a high-ranking official in North Macedonia promised publicly and in an interview with me that 700,000 euros collected from plastic bag charges would be reinvested in waste separation and eco-friendly disposal. The promise sounded sincere, and I believe it was, but the system didn't move. Nothing materialized. Just a well-crafted promise, well-worded promise, lost in a broken trail of funds. This is not an exception, it's a pattern. And I believe that you will recognize the same patterns in at least some of your countries. Some politicians, at least in our country, speak of Scandinavian standards. Just recently we heard one more time the same phrase. A phrase that sharply contrasts the reality documented in our independent reports, including this recent Green Civil video that you just saw, and that was composed by contributions from citizens who send us videos to publish them on our media platform. Please share it. Even worse, parts of the Western Balkans, and this is really alarming, are increasingly treated as dumping grounds. Waste imports are rising, and what we can see here, there is an equation where oversight is weak and corruption is strong. Foreign garbage finds a home. Sounds like a little poem, does it? But of course, not all is lost. There are people who work with integrity, with vision. We just heard Gazmend. One of the strongest examples I know is the Logex community. This network that we have to attribute is a civil society organizations network from across the Western Balkans, initiated by this Kosovo-based think tank, the Balkan Forum. And I really thank them for that, for the hard work. They bring together professionals, activists, business leaders, academics, and innovators committed to circular economy solutions rooted in ethics, cooperation, and local relevance, of course. No big PR campaigns, no greenwashed press releases, just hard work, smart systems, and ethics. And of course, they're not alone. Across the region, I would say hundreds, if not thousands, wonderful projects and different efforts by civil society, by business sector, by some groups of activists and also experts, academia, and so forth, are something that we see that is persisting despite the challenges that I mentioned in the beginning. So where do we go from here? We can no longer stay polite. It's time to name the problem, to call out the abuse of green language, to end the donor-driven illusions. I mean, donors can be used and they're most welcome and needed, badly needed, but then to use those funds properly. Environmental funds must be traceable. Results must be measurable. Citizens must be informed and empowered also to ask, where did that money go? If I were the American president, I would say, where on earth or where the hell did the money go? But I'm not. And above, having all this in mind, and above all, we must invest in people who already understand the stakes. Engineers, creatives, educators, activists, of course. Those people are actually know that the circular economy is not a dream. It is actually our only option. The circular economy is not a utopia, and that's something that we can see from the positive examples. It is a survival plan. And for the Western Balkans, it is a test of honesty, courage, and will, of course, of creativity as well. Will we continue to sell our green image for short-term political gain? I would say no. That's why I would vote for finally start building a region where sustainability is not a slogan, but a standard. I'd like to make a very good example at the end. Even under the harshest conditions, like the war in Ukraine, circular economy practices are proving essential. Despite massive destruction, Ukraine has advanced community-based recycling and waste management projects as tools of resilience and recovery. If this particular circular thinking can survive under bombardment, there is no excuse for inaction in times of peace. The choice is ours, and the time is now. Thank you.
Thank you, Xhabir. So in the interest of time, now I welcome to Sadzida Hafizovic from Bosnia and Herzegovina, Vice President and Project Manager from our partner organization, CENER 21. Sadzida?
Hello,
Sadzida,
everyone, also
welcome.
from my side. First of all, thank you so much for the invitation. It's my pleasure to be here today and to have the opportunity to present some work that CENER has done in a recent year and also this year. And yeah, as every year, we are really glad to have the opportunity to be part of the LOGEX community and to have the opportunity to every year implement some different kind of the activities during the Circular Economy Week. Tomorrow we will have our panel discussion and the event organized by my colleague Ayla with SMEs and the practical example of the circular economy in the small and medium enterprises. So for today, unfortunately, my colleague Shayla couldn't join us due to some personal matters, but I will also have her part of the presentation. So if the time allows, I can also later present her part of the presentation. Give me just a second to share my screen. Can you see my screen? Okay, great.
Yes.
So just for the beginning and one brief introduction for those who don't know about CENER 21. It's the abbreviation for the Center for Energy, Environment and Resources, which is a non-governmental and non-profit organization established in 2006 with the main mission to contribute to sustainable development to Southeast Europe. So what our main areas of actions are biodiversity and ecosystems, climate change mitigation and adaptation, circular economy and resource efficiency, and energy efficiency and renewable energy. Within our work, we managed to establish collaboration with all main stakeholders to drive this environmental protection and develop some good practices and examples. So through our projects, activities, and everything we are implementing, we managed to establish strategic partnership with international organizations such as UNEP, UNIDO, GIZ, European Union, and so on. We have close cooperation with government ministries, agencies, municipalities, where we support them to develop policy strategies and action plans. And currently, our team work also on the development of federal waste management plan, which is huge success for such a small organization. We also had the opportunity to engage with industry and businesses to promote resource efficiency, green production, and green innovation across the sector. One important part is also collaboration with academia and research institutions to support evidence-based policy making, technical studies, and capacity building. We also implement joint actions with NGO and civil society organizations, not just in Bosnia, but also through different kind of the cross-border cooperations and programs. And also we do our best to involve local communities in participatory projects to enhance environmental protection. So in terms of the stakeholder engagement, as I said, through our projects, we try to engage different kind of the stakeholders through different activities. So I will here briefly just introduce some of the activities and projects related to the circular economy that CENER 21 implemented. In terms of the support to the governmental institutions, last year we conducted training for 30 representatives from 14 institutions. As I said, Zero Waste Municipalities project, which was the huge one where we had the triple helix, where we collaborated with the local municipalities, local waste management utilities, and with high schools. Throughout this project, beside the zero waste action plans, we purchased equipment for separate waste collection for municipalities. We also, in purpose of the educational integration, developed a manual for high school teachers to incorporate circular economy and zero waste concepts in existing curricula, which I will talk a bit more later. Also supported Medwaves and GIZ in a collaborative project to tackle single-use plastic in Adriatic region, and we implemented pilot activities for Horeca sector in the city of Mostar. In terms of this tourism sector and Horeca businesses, we also published a comprehensive paper on circular economy principles and practices that can be integrated into tourism sector. And one of the highlights of the last year, our president, Sheila Mahmutovic, represented Bosnia and Herzegovina and JICA's solid waste management program in Japan in December last year. And she brought really great experiences and examples that we can see if there is possibility in some ways how to incorporate and replicate here. As I said, we did a lot in circular economy previously, but there is one point that I would like to focus today, and this is this educational part. So what we saw in terms of the circular economy, we definitely need a more education at all levels, but we have to start with the schools. That is the point that we have to start now in order to educate our future generations with all of these concepts that are currently new but will become a standard in the future. So for that purpose, we developed this manual on integration of waste management topics into existing curriculum, where we, because as you know, we cannot change the curriculum. It's already predefined by the ministries, and it's really complex process. But we could adjust existing curriculum, existing teaching units, just to adjust them a bit to include this circular economy and waste management. And one of the example was also in this language subject. We could make some slight changes in order to introduce the at least words and the usual terms that are used, so they become familiar with the wording at least. So that's where we started with a small point. So main objective of this manual was to assist teacher in daily teaching processes on topics related to environmental protection. But also, on the other hand, given that these are some new concepts, also teachers need some kind of the help and of the support and capacity building. So also through one of the GIZ supported projects, we worked on strengthening vocational education and training. First, we developed a report on green cross-sector competencies, where we saw what is the demand in the labor market in terms of these green skills. And it appeared that employers mostly lacked the staff with the knowledge on the waste management practices. So for this purpose, we also organized practical workshop for teaching staff to ask them what challenges they are facing with, how they see this integration of the green skills in the vocational education, and what could be the next steps. And also for some practical learning, we managed through this project to also purchase recycling machines for two participating schools. So this is just an overview of some activities we done in schools, as we like to say, circular economy in the classroom. And we have to say that we have a really positive experience from the young people, from the students. They are really eager to participate in these activities because it brings something new to this teaching process and learning process. So we will definitely continue to work on that. And as I said, schools and education, we found, are the key entry points for introducing circular thinking early on. So educating young generation is really essential, because they will become the future ambassadors of positive environmental and social change. So in order to achieve that, what we would like to do and what would be our next step, it is definitely to expand this training programs to reach more schools, more teachers across Bosnia and Herzegovina. And also what we would like to do is also strengthen school business partnership to provide this real world examples and opportunities for students' engagement. So yeah, because I wanted to stay in my time frame. So this will be for my part of the presentation. Thank you so much. But I would also like, if we have ask if we have time, I would also like to share maybe Sheila's presentation, if that's okay.
Thank you, Sadzida. Thank you very much for having you today with us. First of all, thank you for sharing the presentation, and congratulations on the successful implementation of all of your activities. This was a very excellent examples for illustrating the objectives of the circular economy, and I believe that in the end we will have time for another presentation from Sheila.
Maybe
Now,
one comment just quickly for Sadzida. I saw Edin Skajic from Fab Lab there in one of the photos.
Yeah.
We cooperate with him, with his organization in another project. I just saw him. I may reach out to you separately for different things because we are conducting a research analysis for Bosnia. We may need some information in regard to VET skills, green and digital. The project is treating those things. So you may have more information. I'm using this platform now, but sorry for taking time.
Yeah, great. We are always happy to help. Yes, Edin and FabLab, they are great. So yeah, that's great to have the opportunity to collaborate on different levels.
We are partners in another project.
Great.
Yeah. Can I add something?
Yes.
Just briefly, I was really refreshed by the presentation that was given by Sadzida, and I'm looking forward to Sheila's presentation if there is time. Of course, Biljana will be the judge of that. But surely this kind of gatherings and events are exactly what we need to do, not to only present, but also to find a photo, familiar face, and give one more even tiny piece of information which can be interesting or important, and not to be only a very critical like myself, although I tried to be balanced and give positive examples as well. And my full version of the article will bring more positive tone as of course. That was just my reaction to add to Gazmend's reaction.
Thank you, Xhabir. Now I welcome to Belisa Haxhiu from Albania, from a project manager in our partner organization, Build Green Group. Belisa.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all and share some of our local impact during this week of activities. So I like to start my presentation firstly with showing some of our main focus areas and then continue with the project that we recently implemented in the framework of this week of activities. So the mission of Build Green Group is to provide a greener and digital sustainable tomorrow. And how we do that is through our services focusing on research and innovation, project implementation, and sustainable development initiatives. So we focus our action into three main pillars, which are climate change education, environmental digitalization, as well as, of course, circular economy. And we have a lot of related projects and initiatives focusing specifically on circular economy in sectors such as industry, business, textile, as well as tourism and the agro industry. However, the highlight of all our action has always been this week of activities, and we are happy that we could also implement other impactful events at the local level through this year. So our main activity that we organized during this Circular Economy Week was the project Ideas to Actions for Circular Future. Since the main topic and aim of this week of activities was to focus at the local level, we targeted a vet school as well. And the event lasted for 2 days, while the first day focused on training of the students, and the second day was a whole day event of sharing their ideas. So as the title indicates, putting those ideas and all this knowledge gained through the first day of the activity into concrete actions through by making use of their own creative thinking. And it was a really successful event. I'll share some pictures so that you can visualize the organization. So we had, since as I mentioned, the focus was at the local level, we also engaged two of our partners, two local organizations, Albanian Skills and RESU, Reinforced Sustainability, who are both experts at the circular economy as well as youth engagement. So these are some photos from our target group, discussing ideas, focusing on team building, as well as putting all those knowledge, as I mentioned, into a concrete action. And then the second day entirely focused on a context where students presented their ideas, and the best ideas were awarded through 3 different prizes. So we are so happy that this event had really impactful results at the local level, engaging a total of more than 35 students, but also additionally the educational staff who were engaged throughout all the implementation phases, as well as equipping youth with circular economy principles, as well as on how they can take concrete action into the local community. And we were really also happy to have all those ideas shared by youth, focusing on different tools, platforms, from construction to tourism sector to entrepreneurship, such as startups, focusing on urban-rural development, and so on. So we are really happy that this event was had such important results at the local level, and we are sure that through having this capacity building framework, the educational school staff will also replicate it with other students and have greater impact. Thank you.
Thank you, Belisa. Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite Katerina Ilijoska, who represents the Western Balkans Circular Economy Hub, to give her presentation. Katerina, please.
Okay, so hello again. My name is Katerina Ilijoska from the Institute for Research in Environment, Civil Engineering and Energy. And first I would like to thank Biljana for the invitation to give this 5 minutes presentation, in which I'll present the Western Balkans Circular Economy Hub. I guess you already know, as you're in the field, that one of the 5 key pillars in the Green Deal for the Western Balkans is the circular economy, and also that Europe strives to be the most circular continent in the world. So in order to achieve these goals, they will need the Western Balkans to join them in the transition. And the Western Balkan Circular Hub aims to be the focal point that gathers different stakeholders from all the 6 countries, with aim to foster collaboration and networking between them, so we can accelerate the transition to the circular economy. And here is just one interesting data from a survey that was done last year from the Regional Council Cooperation, where 82% of the people stated that they believe the regional cooperation is good for their economy. Who are we targeting with the hub? So we have 3 main target groups. First, micro, small, and medium enterprises, which we plan to involve in our activities. So it can be enterprises that have already implemented circular practices, or they're fully running on circular business models, as well as those that are currently transitioning or are planning to implement such practices in the near future. And then women and youth. So we want to target these 2 groups with the trainings on circular economy topics. that we will develop, and also to motivate more people to pursue a career path in the field. And with that also to be the leaders in the organizations that they're part of and propose circular economy initiatives. So just briefly regarding the activities that we're planning to develop in the next 2 years. So we'll develop online courses on different circular economy topics where that will be hosted on a digital platform. Then different kind of events such as matchmaking and networking events to bring together different stakeholders. Information dissemination. So we are already using our LinkedIn profile for distributing different kind of content and news on circular economy topics. For example, the Circular Economy Week that is currently happening is one of the news that we are interested in sharing. So please, if you have any activities and outcomes of your organization that you think should be shared and reach more audience, you can send them to us and we will gladly share them. Then next year we will launch a mentorship support, and finally we also want to help with facilitating the access to finance for companies or individuals that would like to start their circular businesses. Currently, we are working on developing the digital platform of the hub that will be like one place to access different kind of resources, reports such as Gazmend mentioned. So there are like really interesting initiatives going on and different kind of documents and tools, but there is like, we want them to gather them in one place. So then we can also see what is happening in other countries and be inspired or find like a partner that could help us to develop a similar initiative in the country. And the platform will be launched in September. Currently, we have the landing page that you can access to stay informed with the currently open initiatives that we have. And regarding our 2 upcoming events for June, so next Thursday we have this introduction to circular economy training with Elin Bergman. Elin is the co-founder of the Nordic Circular Hotspot, so it's a very similar initiative as the Western Balkans Circular Economy Hub, but for the Nordic countries. And she has 20 years of experience in the field, so she's also helping us develop the activities of the hub with the experience that they had in the Nordic hub. And she will give this training that is for anyone that wants to refresh their knowledge or like get entirely new knowledge if someone is not acquainted with the topic. And on the 10th of June, we have an event tackling the construction waste problem in the Balkans. The event is part of the European Union Green Week, and we'll have representatives from the Green Building Councils and the Reconmatic project that is tackling the problem of construction waste, but on European Union level. So they'll share some good practices from that part of Europe. So just to wrap up, how can individuals and organizations get involved? Currently, we have several initiatives in which you can join as a company, organization, or individual. You can become a member or partner of the hub. So we are developing member-only activities. One of those activities will be membership meetings in which individuals and company owners and employees can meet to exchange different knowledge and experience and help each other in navigating the transition. Then the 100 best circular practices, where we want to showcase and highlight successful examples from the region. There are many of them, and for sure their impact can be increased if their work is known in more countries. And finally, the Circular Economy Awards ceremony. So we'll be giving awards to 7 different categories. The applications will open next week, and the ceremony will happen on the conference from the Chamber of Montenegro in Budva in October. And you can follow us on LinkedIn, where currently we are sharing most of the updates, and also on the landing page where you can find the links to join any of these initiatives and also register for the events. Thank you.
Thank you, Katerina. Thank you very much for providing us with this insightful presentation and deeper understanding for Western Balkan Circular Economy Hub. I would now like to invite, before we move on the conclusion and discussion, kindly invite Sadzida again to share any ideas from Sheila, who unfortunately couldn't be with us today. Sadzida?
Yeah, I'm still here. So basically, just give me a second. I will not then take too much time, but what we wanted to share also with you today in terms of the circular economy, as also that highlights something that Gazmend and Xhabir mentioned. So circular economy is not just a waste management usually, and that's something that we focus on, but there is a lot of larger scales that it need to be implemented in order to be fully functional. But what we wanted to share today is also some examples of the support for SMEs that we provided through recent years and the project, and some good examples of the SMEs that already implemented some circular economy practices in their day-to-day operation. So I will just go briefly through some of them, because as I said, besides the education, also SMEs, in order to transform to circular economy, need different kind of the support from the education to the capacity building and extension financial support. So we had a project like Circular Accelerator for SMEs, applying green chemistry principles in industry, something I already mentioned, strengthening secondary vocational education and training. But as I said, we although somehow we are, as Western Balkans, we are usually perceived as someone who is lagging behind all European Union with all of these new practices, but it's always worth to mention that there are some slight but movements and good practice example that can be implemented. So maybe just it will be interesting for all of you. I will not take too much time. And I would like to present some good practice example in terms of the circular economy of the SMEs that we work with, and some of them implemented measures that were identified through different kind of the audits. We have a example of the manufacturing sector from wood industry, where new products were produced from the waste wood, and these include decorative items and souvenirs. These look pretty simple and very interesting. Also, what we like to say, as I said, some also digital solutions are very important in terms of the circular economy, and we have here example of the industry that implemented enterprise resource planning in terms of resource valorization, and they managed to reduce the scrap materials by 45.1%. So this is also a very important part of the circular economy. In terms of textile industry, I'm not sure how it's in other countries, but we all, I think, have a problem with the textile waste. So we have example of Agrikombinat and Vetex industries that recycle this waste textile from the industry and from the households in order to produce industrial felt. In the construction sector, we have example of use of waste materials in clinker and energy production. One of the pioneers in Bosnia is cement industry, especially Lukava cement, and they also use RDF waste tires and industrial waste for the thermal and energy production. And one very important and very interesting example is in agricultural and food sector is this Pharma, which is a first biogas plant for electricity and heat production produced from the agricultural biomass, which is really big problem in terms of the waste here in Bosnia. And this is the first farm in Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina with such facilities. So as I mentioned earlier, what we are currently trying to do through our activities to move from some theoretical parts, but to connect education with the practical implementation and to enforce implementation of the circular economy practices from bottom to top, because sometimes these top to bottom approaches, while we are waiting this regulatory framework to be changed, we are also working on this capacity building of the governmental institutions, but we think it takes too much time, and we are trying, as I said, to use this bottom top approach to force them to change the regulations and to make it easier for SMEs to adopt to these new circular economy practices. So I just went briefly through the Sheila's presentations for you to see what was our idea to present today. Thank you so much once again for the opportunity, and yeah, in case you have any questions, I'm here.
Thank you, Sadzida. Thank you very much. Thank you for all of you. I'm going to say before that all that you've sent your reports or videos and or photos that they will be published on the Civils Media platform. And now, Xhabir, any concluding remarks from our side?
Well, I would like to ask actually also Gazmend if he has some concluding remarks. I would rather repeat the fact that by tomorrow we will submit those 6 sets of recommendations to our partners at LogX community, and I believe that they will be adopted, and regardless of the fact that the Circular Economy Week will be finalized tomorrow or something, I believe that we can agree on those recommendations in the later stage, let's say in a week or so, and make a press release and report to the national publics and the regional as well as international. Please use our media platform as yours platform, because as we repeatedly said in the past several years since the LogX community has been established, our media platform is open, entirely open. We are planning to also introduce several other languages in our media platform. For now, we dynamically publish every day practically in Macedonian, Albanian, and English language. But of course, the Bosnian, Croatian, and Serbian languages are more than welcome, and at the first opportunity to have these languages, we will introduce them into our platform, not only as a Google Translate option, but also as a properly designed web platform that will be available to all readers across the region. Regarding the Civil Today and Green Civil, which is publishing in 3 languages, and Civil Today is in English exclusively, I can proudly announce that we have a growing international public, thanks to the new global initiative that we established in December, the Defending Democracy Global Initiative. And of course, green issues, including the circular economy, is something that we look into at the level of the leadership of this global initiative, to which Civil is a proud co-founder, of course. Regarding the recommendations, they will reveal the nature of our work together throughout the years with all LOGEX community partners and members, and you will recognize many of those recommendations that are actually deriving from what we at Civil we've seen throughout the years as something that would be good to put in a document, in a policy document, and deliver it to the decision makers and to the publics to consider and hopefully to start changing things. Finally, I'd like to ask you to take a look at my article, which in a shorter version I presented today. I know it's a little bit alarming in the beginning, in the first half, but I strongly believe that you will find those standpoints relating to the reality, and in some cases even being too mild in comparison to the reality. And I accept any contribution in direct communication or with Civil as a response or as something that is complementary to it. At the very end, I'd like to also mention the fact that the Balkan Forum has recently started, with the kind permission of Gazmend. I don't know if I may, but I already took the liberty to also mention the Towards 2030 initiative that Gazmend and his colleagues have started recently, and which is giving really interesting, I would say very important, remarkable outputs. But for that, I'm not going to finish. I'm not going to prolong anymore. If Gonje here and Gazmend want to say a word or two about this conference, about the Circular Economy Week, or Towards 2030, I'm fine with that. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Xhabir. Gazmend, any conclusions?
Yeah, maybe just a few words just to, we have this very big documents which is called Green Deal or Green Agenda for Western Balkans, and as Katerina said, there are very ambitious, high ambitions there, and the aim is very high that by 2050, I think we become a zero, free emissions countries, etc. So, but then let's not forget, I mean, every country in the Western Balkans have their own problems, which are political problems, and those unfortunately become as a parachute. They take a lot of energy and time, and of course they are considered priorities. But then, these topics as green topics remain on the shadow, and sometimes it's or I have the feeling that we have to work like against the stream of the river. So you make one step forward and then you go 3 steps backwards because you have some bigger problems coming from a different setups. And every country, as I said, when it comes to EU integration, of course, yeah, you have countries that have moved forward in terms of EU integration, such as Montenegro and Albania. But then you have countries like us that we are not even a candidate member, which is a long road ahead. But then, you know, we have countries that have open chapters and they have lag behind, and you have all this normalization of relations and a lot of things. Not to, you know, end it in a bad note, so I'll stop there. I just think it's fair just to mention some activities that are happening now, so from our partners that couldn't be here, which is COD Jajce, which they are doing a workshop today, and this overlapped with this event, so they are not here, but they're doing a very good workshop with kids, as they usually do. And Universum are, you know, one of the colleges that is partner in LOGEX is also doing their exhibition, which is a sustainable fashion festival that they do when usually they produce products by recycled materials. There's a Zero Waste Montenegro. They are preparing for a 3-day, how they call it, camp, immersive camp, and they're undergoing the preparation that will start from tomorrow and extend up until 1st of June. So they are heavily engaged in those elements, but they are with us. If not here in this conference, they are doing and they are contributing to our overall goal. Yeah, as I said, just to say, it's good to see new people coming, like-minded organizations. It's good to have Katerina here. We started the conversation slightly differently, but there's synergy. I see our partner organizations there in their hub. You know, we can, you know, we're all, you know, trying to do the same thing, you know, improve our societies, improve our countries, improve our processes, make politicians more accountable for the commitments that they say. I think that's the ultimate goal of the civil society, what we aspire to and why we work. This is our mission. So thank you all. Thank you. That's all. That's my 5 cents, a bit extended 5 cents, but that's all from my side.
Thank you, Gazmend. Thank you, Xhabir. If anyone has any question, please feel free to ask. Anyone? Xhabir?
I provoked Xhabir.
Always.
No, I wanted to thank Gazmend, and of course you provoked me, but I will reserve the time with you in more direct communication, not necessarily behind closed doors, but maybe in some future podcast. I want to also say that I'm also together with my colleagues, but I also have my own podcast called Currents, to which also Gazmend was part, to which international experts and diplomats and politicians have been part in the past several months since it started. And I invite you all to become a part of my podcast as well, which is published by Civil's media platform. And okay, take a look at the 1 minute or something the video that was part of this live broadcast, and feel free to send your video evidence of how Scandinavian our practices are, under quotation marks, and I'll be very happy to recommend that to my colleague Arjan to incorporate it in our video about the Scandinavian standards, the Balkan remix, as we call it, or Balkan ways of implementation. And yes, there are several points that Gazmend made that I would love to discuss, but maybe for the podcast or some other occasion. Of course, thank you very much, Gazmend, and thank you everybody for being so great contributors and participants to this event. Thank you, Biljana.
Until next time, Bram.
Thank you, Xhabir. Thank you all for your time, for the inspiring presentation, and I wish you continued success in your efforts, in our efforts, to promote and implement circular economy practices.